Alright, so do you want to start?
Yeah.
Alright, because morning tea after this is going to take a little while, probably about 15-20 minutes. What I'm going to do is, do these two. So today, for those who don't know me, I'm Melissa. And I am going to be talking about occupational health and safety and the RiskPro that we do if any incidences occur. So today we're talking about hazard reporting. So a hazard is a situation with a potential for harm in terms of human injury or ill health. So that can happen to either us, contractors, patients, visitors, or anyone in the general public. Damage to property, damage to the environment, or a combination of these. It can be physical, chemical, biological, economical, psychosocial, or a combination. And it doesn't have to present as a risk, OH&S risk if people aren't exposed to it. An OH&S risk is when someone is exposed to a hazard. Alright, and they don't all need to be risk assessed. So if you see something in the ward that is a risk, you don't have to report it, you can take it away, move it, etc. So it can be fixed straight away. And all the hazards have to be reported on RiskPro. Now Angela's going to, she's just out getting a copy of RiskPro because I'm going to sit down and we're going to go through what the RiskPro is and how to fill it out correctly because we're finding that a lot of the time it's not filled in properly. Most of it's done alright, but some people are leaving stuff or when it's written out, you're just adding extra information that doesn't need to be put in. So it's just kind of a basic fact.
Isn't that changing? Isn't RiskPro changing to a new system?
I'm not aware of that. I know the risk assessment tools will be changing eventually, probably in the next few months after I've done my project. So Tessa's the best person to ask about that because she does all.
How can you leave things out? So you have to fill in the ones that are in red.
You do. You have to fill it out in the red. But Tessa was explaining to me that some people were still leaving stuff out.
I didn't think it'd let you go through.
Yeah, and that's what I said to her, but she said sometimes it still gets through.
Oh, okay.
It's alright. Okay. Alright, so can anyone tell me what are the hazards at Pine Lodge? What in your work area? Patients? Yep. Nursing
It's
staff?
going to be personal injury to yourself.
Yep.
Doing the medications.
Medications, alright, so we've got your environmental stuff, so we've got beds.
Everything.
Sorry?
Everything.
Everything, well it is everything. Beds, couches, chairs, got down in the kitchen you've got loads of stuff. Those.
I must ask Melissa, you know the beds in the upper part of Norfolk?
Yep.
The ones that are not high, low beds?
Yep.
I was making a couple of beds the weekend and I've complained about it before, but they're a terrible hazard on nurses' back.
Yep, absolutely.
And it actually makes it reluctant to go in.
So
They're like environmental as well. It's environmental as well. They have it on their backs as well.
yeah.
But there's two of us.
So
I'm just.
but even so the height
Yeah.
level of the bed is the issue.
Yeah.
It's terribly low.
Yeah.
So and that's for nurses, for staff,
Yeah.
and for patients who are making their own beds.
Yeah, for everyone.
So
Sure, the other thing is those blooming fitted sheets, they kill me trying to fit them across the mattress.
Yeah, but there's a certain way.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
So those type of things we need. Yeah, those type of things we need to be reporting on RiskPro because that's a hazard. That's a hazard to your
I have
back.
reported about the beds before. I do think
Yep,
that's
and
a real.
also to Jodie, who's the OH&S lady, and Andrea is also a representative there. Yeah. Okay, so there's lots of things that in our environment that are issues, are hazard risks. We've also got your violence and aggression from patients, from staff to each other. visitors, people who just come out off the street.
Upstairs and downstairs.
Yes. We've got slips, trips and falls, chemical exposures and biohazards. So we've got needle sticks for the nurses, we've got chemicals for the cleaners, we've got things in the kitchen. Where are you? Sorry, you're in the kitchen as well. That's right. You look different without your hat on. Sorry.
He does. He does.
Yeah, so we've got all that sort of stuff, faulty old equipment, anything, absolutely everything in the hospital you can potentially hurt yourself with. Trip over the carpet sometimes. Alright. Did I change that? Okay, so reporting, which is the fun part we're doing today. Why should we report? So we're preventing anyone from getting injured. Alright. Because no one wants to get injured at work. We want to go home
And also
safely.
to improve the situation.
Absolutely. Yep.
Just to make look for the future.
Yeah, we're looking for the future. We're looking for ourselves right now. We're looking for the future stuff. We all want to go home in one piece. And we all love our job and want to come back and do it all again the next day and do it comfortably, I suppose. And we're also preventing poverty and equipment damage. Okay, so we're looking at how to report a hazard, and is there any of those sheets left? Everyone wants to give it you. Thank you. Okay, so we've got our RiskPro. What I'm going to do is go through our RiskPro, which we have. So Tessa's left me this lovely sheet, and RiskPro is on the computer. The policies and procedures are all available for you to look on the computer under all users, policies and procedures. So when you go into RiskPro, you open your computer up, there's a little icon, open that up. Has everyone filled in, who hasn't filled in a RiskPro? You haven't filled in one? You haven't filled in one? I'm hoping Angela has a copy. Okay, so Angela hasn't got a copy. So basically, RiskPro, so you weren't able to get one?
No.
Okay. RiskPro is a system where it tells you, informs Tessa of what the risk or what's happened with your incident, and it gives you step-by-step instruction. You need to fill out all the red sections of RiskPro, because generally you can't submit it without those. They're the necessary ones to fill out. It's pretty basic step by step, but what Tessa's asking us to do is to think about what's happened. Does it need one or two reports? So has an incident happened to a patient that you're reporting, and if that incident has affected you, do you need to go and fill in one for yourself, so that we're looking at those at both types of hazards?
So basically, if a patient's verbally aggressive or physically aggressive towards me,
Yep.
I would then put a RiskPro in reporting the aggressive behaviour of the patient,
Yep.
but also that
You've been
I have
assaulted.
been
Yes.
highly traumatised by
That's
that
right.
inappropriate, nasty behaviour.
That's right. And for example, for one of mine that I'd had to put in a little while back was I put in two. One was for a doctor's error on writing up the medication chart. The way it was written was really difficult to decipher, and you could see that nurses were giving something a little bit different to what was written. So I had to write up two. So it's about thinking does this risk affect one person or one thing, or does it have two
So you
effects?
wrote one up on the doctor.
So one up on the doctor and one up on the nurse.
And the
Because
actual
that-
fact would you then
What about
also
the patient
done one
you
for the
got?
patient?
Yeah,
They've been
you can get
receiving.
the-
That's right,
Yeah.
and which I didn't do.
So that could be
because
three.
That could be three. So there you go. So you can do several RiskPros on just one incident. goodness, that's hot. All right. So
Just make sure it's first.
when we're filling it in, we're looking at the things we need to fill in. Tessa would like, if you're reporting an incident on a doctor, you only need to put in their last names in capitals. This is just going down into the finer points of RiskPro. You need to put in the department in which the patient belongs. So not where the incidents happened. So if the patient is a Norfolk patient, but the incident has happened in, say, the car park, the incident is the area is Norfolk. It sounds a bit confusing.
Well, it's more confusing to the fact that, say, if it was in the car park, the car park would be the hazard.
That's,
Like, do you know what I mean? Not actually Norfolk.
but it's the area department incident,
Yeah, I know.
not the actual,
Yeah.
not
They
the
don't have
actual.
a car park anyway.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
RiskPro is really.
Do they?
It is on there.
So
It
why
is?
wouldn't you put the car park there?
Yeah, because it's the, I don't know. Because it does say occurred. I reckon I've done that before.
Yeah,
Put
it's
where
quite
actually
confusing at times. So I think what she wants is that the patient has to be identified to what area they come from, as
Could
opposed
you
to.
put both in? A Norfolk
Well, I think if
but
you're-
instant on
As you type in.
As
Well,
you're
it does
typing in the
have
facts, so
it does have ward
Yeah,
and then
that's
their
a drop
room
down
and a
menu.
specific area on it.
yeah,
So it has 3.
yeah. So the actual, when you're typing in the facts, so she only wants the facts put in. So it's, patient fell over the chair, and then she doesn't want anyone to identify anybody in when you're writing in the facts. So patient fell over chair, caregiver made aware, so not, nurse Melissa made aware, and
So not names.
no names in the facts, because
I don't put names
when
in,
you're
but yeah,
initially
nurse
filling out
assistant.
the form, you've got the identification of the patient, the identification of the person reporting you've got the identification of the doctor.
But I thought though, Mel, sorry to cut you off.
No, that's right.
Previously, I've always been informed, like, so if something happens to a patient, then we would have to actually put down a description of who we've informed. So if we
Yeah,
informed,
yeah, psychiatrist,
No,
treating
no,
doctor,
treating site.
Just not their name.
just,
But
not
then
It
their
does
name.
have their
It's
name.
saying
It's in the
that
back
you've
of
already
it.
put that
But this
down.
is in the section with the box
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
says
yeah.
facts only. So because prior to that, you're filling in the little. It's really hard to
The
explain
drop-down
without
is,
it.
yeah.
There's a dot point of who you've informed. You write in who that person is. So you write my name and my position, and then who else you've informed, like the treating psychiatrist. They all come down in the drop-down boxes at the start, and then you've got to inform us of what the actual incident is, but it's just pretty much basic facts. So no identifying of patients, the caregiver or the doctor, and that. And apparently people are identifying it in uppercase in that little box, just normal case. Doesn't need to be an uppercase. When, this is in particular to the nurses, if we've reported that obs are being taken, all that sort of stuff, you need to actually document what the obs were. Just say, instead of saying obs NAT, obs, you've got to write, what the blood pressure is, what the pulse. That's, although they're asking for brief, they do want a little bit more detail on that sort of stuff.
Is that just saying then just to look at it?
Yeah,
So you could put baseline obs, e.g. blood pressure, pulse,
yeah,
just something
that's
like
it,
that.
yeah.
You quite often I write NODs, but I don't want that anymore.
Yeah, no NADs, straight into what it was. Just simple facts. Okay, so that is pretty much how to fill out RiskPro. Sorry I don't have a copy of it so we can go through it. Any questions on that? It's pretty straightforward.